I'm Mark Scholero, the owner of MS Classic Cars. Today I'm in all my glory sitting here in this outstanding 1962 Mercedes Benz 190 SL. Just to start off, I am a huge Mercedes Benz enthusiast. Prior to opening my own classic car dealership, I worked for BD Incorporated in Tiverton, Rhode Island. I sold Mercedes Benz for almost 10 years. I've been driving them now as my daily driver for all of 15 years. So I am a huge enthusiast. You can only imagine how I feel sitting in this particular car. This is one of the best examples known to exist in the world. Most of the time when I'm on the internet looking or at auctions looking for cars and so forth, it's very hard to find European cars that are restored to the quality of the cars that we typically have at MS Classic Cars. This particular car here fits our collection perfectly. It is one of the best. It is absolutely stunning. And again, I am in all my glory sitting in this car. These cars were actually produced from the manufacturer between 1955 and 1963. And as indicated here, 25,881 were produced during the entire production run, which makes these cars really rare and highly collectible. This particular car that you're looking at here today was actually found from a Mercedes-Benz enthusiast as a very original car. It was found by a gentleman by the name of Tom Gibson of Crossroads Restorations. He actually would manage a meticulous nut and bolt concourse restoration from a well-known company called Performance and Vintage Classicos. They are known for doing unbelievable work to cars. They've won many concourse d'elegances and AACA awards and things like this. With that being said, this was a methodical restoration that lasted about 2 years. There are some pictures of the car being restored within our listing that you have to check out. But once again, Tom's vision with this restoration was to oversee it and to make sure that it was done as accurately as possible. He also wanted to use as many parts as he possibly could that were NOS or OEM. So everything that he couldn't find obviously was saved as original and restored, and he did an absolutely beautiful job. It does have a copy of the build sheet, which is included within our listing as well. All the numbers on this car are matching the build sheet to prove its authenticity. Starting with the exterior of the car was originally painted red from the factory. It had a black top and it had black interior. Tom wasn't a huge fan of that color combination. It's something that you do see quite often. So he decided to paint this car Mercedes Blue. That's the name of it. Actually, the code is actually DB335 if you want to reference it. It's a beautiful color, and it only made sense to paint it that color because it is correct for this year, and it's absolutely an awesome color that fits this car perfectly. All of the sheet metal on this car is original to the car, which also is kind of a big deal because these cars, over years, like all vintage cars, tend to rust and so forth. So to find a car that has all the original sheet metal is huge. There's pictures again on our listing that indicate that this car was extremely solid. It was stripped to bare metal on a rotisserie. Again, it's all documented with photos. The car is laser straight. All the gap lines are super nice, very precise. Obviously the wheels were painted to match. It's got the correct white wall tires that look awesome. The back sides of the wheels were actually painted green, which was leftover colors that Mercedes-Benz used from World War II, which is really cool. They did the same thing with the undercarriage. So if you're looking at our photos and don't understand why it's painted a different shade underneath and why the back sides of the wheels are painted that color, is because that was what was correct, again, that Mercedes-Benz used to do back after the war when they had all the leftover batch paint. So getting to the interior of this car, it's really clear here, probably in this video, because this is a convertible. And this car, with the top, it's actually a dark blue top, which complements this Mercedes blue perfectly. Just want to make a note of that. But looking at the interior, it only made sense to complement the exterior color with this beautiful parchment interior. This is a very seldom seen combination, so again, it only made sense to do it all out when he picked the color combination. So everything in this interior is highly restored. It feels as if I'm sitting in a brand new car. All the dash pad, all the glass, the door panels, these seats were done to a very high level. All the interior carpeting, the dash was painted beautifully. All of the gauges are in working order. The RPM gauge, the speedometer, the oil pressure gauge, water temperature gauge, fuel gauge, everything in the interior works as it should, with exception of the radio. The radio was working, I guess, when the restoration was completed. If you turn it on, the light comes on, but it doesn't play any music, so I just want to make a note of that. We don't do radio restoration here, so it's something that would have to be sent out and fixed and then sent back type deal. It even has this little piece here that flips up and a light comes on, which is in working order. I don't know if you can see that, but even that's really cool. And these cars have kind of a push button start, so you flip the key and you push a button and it starts, so it's really nice. But again, I'm a taller guy, I'm 6 foot, and you can see how comfortable I sit in this interior. It's really just a superior, luxurious interior. Getting to the engine compartment there, the engine is highly detailed. It is the original matching numbers, 1.9 liter inline 4-cylinder, which runs absolutely beautiful. The engine was completely rebuilt. It's got a good amount of power. It really purrs like a kitten. There was a ton of things that were done in this engine compartment that were factory correct. Again, Tom's goal with this restoration was to make it as correct as possible. This is definitely something that you could take to a show and have judged and so forth. It's that type of quality. So the engine bay, again, is absolutely stunning. It's one of the best engine bays I've ever seen in a Mercedes Benz 190 SL. I will make a note of something. In the photos within our listing, you'll notice that the car had a different battery. That battery is no longer in correct working order. It's actually used more just for like shows and photography and things like that. Currently, the battery that's in the car now is a brand new battery. It actually was purchased from Napa, and we removed all the stickers on it and so forth. So if you just happen to notice when we do the engine video that it's got a different battery, that's kind of the explanation. The engine is actually paired to a 4-speed transmission. That's the other thing that I would comment about this car. The clutch is really easy to use. It shifts absolutely beautiful. The brakes work great. And again, talking about the undercarriage, when you see the undercarriage within our listing and you see the picture of the trunk compartment, they're both done to a high level of restoration. All the steering components, all the braking components, suspension components, everything underneath this car was done methodically into very high quality. So this is a vehicle that you have to check out. For a complete description with tons of photos on our website, visit msclassiccars.com and feast your eyes on this absolutely stunning piece. I'm going to go ahead and start this car and let you listen to how beautiful it runs. Just turn the key here, push button. You can see it just starts instantly. It absolutely runs beautifully.